Okay, hi guys, welcome to the third session. So today we will be learning about different Excel operations, like what we can do in UiPath and what are different operations we can perform. So for that we have got a use case for us. So for this, we have a test Excel file. In this, what we are supposed to do, we need to first calculate the birth year of every person in the name list. Then we need to check if he is eligible for vote or not. The specified condition is that the person should be greater than 20 years and less than 40 years. Okay. And the last thing we need to do is we need to color the field. Like if a person is eligible to vote, color the field with some color like green, blue, anything. And if he or she is not, then just color the field with red color. Okay, we have this simple use case that we are going to build from scratch. Let's see. I guess I have already opened the UiPath. Now today let's start this. For this we will be using only Excel application scope activity. If you see over here, what like there are two kind of activities, do understand, in Excel. One is for Excel and another is for workbook. Like if I type Excel over here and scroll down a little, so we have got one Excel activities. They are different ones. And then we have got workbook activities, just three. Okay, so it's like if you want to do multiple operations inside Excel, like inbuilt, you want to use the inbuilt power of Excel only, then you need to use Excel application scope. Now let's select the test file which is on desktop, over here. Now first what I want to read the data, that what is inside my Excel. So I will use read range for that. You see there are two read range. We need to use the one which is below Excel and create a data table DT1. Okay, next what we need to do, like here, calculate the birth year of every person. So from this Excel, what I want to calculate the birth year, how will I do it? Like a normal way is to calculate subtract the age from the current year. So in Excel basically there are formulas we can use. Like if I write equals to 2020 minus and B2, enter, you see Excel itself calculated the age for me, basically the birth year, which is 1999. Similarly I want to do for all. So what can I do? One way, I will just write same for each cell, B3. Similarly next, for similarly in next, like C B 2020 minus B4. Or what I can do, I will just select this and drag to all the cells. Excel will fill the values itself. That's the power of Excel. And basically I would say that Excel is the origin of this automation in a way, especially .NET. Now let's see how we can do the same using UiPath. So we again go back over here. Now I need to first write a formula in the C column. So I will use write cell activity from Excel. Okay, and over here I will just write C2, which is the first column, and a formula in double quotes equals to what I want, 2020 minus B2. Okay, this was exactly how I wrote it manually. Now I want to fill this in all the rows, all the all the rows of column C. So for that, what we can do, like we cannot drag it in the Excel like we did manually. So let's see if we have got any activity for that. If I write Excel over here, there are multiple activities, and if we see the first one only, it says fills a range using a source range rule. Basically this is the one we need. Okay, so in the source range, it's asking what kind of formula you want to copy or what is the pattern. So like over here I have given in C2, so here also I will just write C2. Okay, C2 is fine. Now I want to the destination range till like how many columns or what is the range in which I want to write the same formula. So it should start from C2, that I know, but till how many rows, like I don't know how many rows are there in my Excel. Yeah, I can go and count, but that won't be dynamic. So like I know there would be C letter, but how many rows we need to calculate. So for that I will again create an assign activity, and over here let's just name it total rows, and over here I will write table name dot, then rows, then dot count. So basically dot is an operator which we can use to find different methods or functions present in VB. Right now it is giving me an error. Okay, why? Because by default, as I said in earlier class, the variables name are in string format. So we will just convert it to int32 and the error is gone. Let's change the scope to sequence also. Now there are, I know how many rows are there. So again for verification, what we can check in Excel, it will say there are 12 rows. Okay, and that's only what we need. Like we need C12 over there. So C plus what I can write, total rows dot to string. Now it will fill all the cells with the formula, or here I can write fill range with formula. Okay, that's one task done. We have calculated the birth year of every person. Now it's saying check who is eligible for vote and who is not. Okay, so for that, now what is the kind of operation we can do? I want to check if this person is eligible or not. So I will like check age, it is in between 20 and 40, yes, so I have to write yes over here, or eligible. Same for this, like for 19 is not eligible because the age is not between 40 and 20. So this is a kind of simple if else condition that I need to write. So let's do that. We will go to UI path. Now we have to iterate over each row, and when iteration, it means loop. So I will use a for each loop for this. Since we are working with a table, so I am using a for each data table. So okay, we have got this. Now our table name is like dt1. What I want to check, so I will use if condition. If the row means complete row in this Excel, like if I say a row, so that is referring to this complete row, a kind of array, you can think a data row. And since like I have earlier said also, here the indexes are zero based, so this one is zero column, this one column, second column, third column. So I want to check some condition on first column. So let's say row 1 dot to string, but this is a string, I want to check in integer. So what I will do, I will convert it, or basically typecast from string to integer. So for that we have a function C, capital C, then int. So capital C is like convert, and to which integer, so int. So C int. Now the condition is should be greater than 20, and again just copy the same, less than 40. Okay, this is the condition asked to us. What we need to do, we need to write in a cell, right? So I will use a write cell activity. Now over here, what we need, like for this, I want to write over here in D2, then D3, D4. You see there is D is common, but there is a counter starting from 2. So we need to build that also for us, a counter variable. So let's go to our variables panel and create a counter. It will be of type integer. Convert it to sequence, and I will set it to 1. Okay, by default its value would have been 0, but since I need to start from 2, so I'm giving it a 1 value, because like now I can assign it one more value for every iteration. counter plus 1. So first time counter value will be 2. Now what I want over here, just capital D plus, now let's open it. Now I want to write my counter. So how will I write counter? Right now it is value 2, but it is an integer value. Again need to convert it to string. So dot to string. That's it. Now for aberration, its value would be D2, D3, D4. So the range value is also now dynamic for us. Now a value it's asking. So if the condition is true, means the person is eligible. So let's write that. Now if the condition is false, so what should happen? Else block should run and it should just write not eligible. Cool. Now let's again check the next task. It's saying that to color the field as well, with some red if he is not eligible and some Aquarian if it is eligible. Okay, cool, we can do that. So what we need is color. Again, let's check for Excel. What we have got in Excel activities. Okay, there is nothing. There is one get color, but we don't need to get, we need to set the color value. Okay, here we have got a set range color activity. It says that it changes the color of a specified cell or range using a color variable. That's good. That's only what we need. So I will drag it over here. Now what will be the first comes range. So it should be from A, like A2 to D2 maybe. Let's see. If I want to color this one, so it will be A2 to D2. Similarly, A3 to D3. We again got something static, some common variables. So again A plus counter dot to string, then plus, and over here again we will get D plus counter dot to string. Okay, so it's like A2 to D2, C A2 A3 to D3. We have given a range for us. Now this is like one important thing you might need to remember. It's asking me for a color and it says like the system.drawing.color for the specified cell. It's a kind of data type also. Like I said in earlier class, there are so many type of data types in UiPath. So color is also a kind of data type. So I will just write system.drawing.color, and now we have got so many types of color shades. Like there are just too many shades. So it's like I will select some. Which one? Ghost white, aquarium beast, dark khaki. Okay, I will go with this, whatever its color it is. Yeah, Kushagra?
Piyush sir, actually just a question I wanted to ask that if we have to assign any random color,
Hmm.
not a fixed color, so how can we do that?
Okay. So like for that also, like you need for randomness also, you will have to first define a kind of set of colors for that. Like if I want to choose a random color, one way is you type all the names in a kind of array list and generate a random number to get the index value for that. So by that way it could be random. But over here, as you see, the only thing which is dynamic is this color name. So just create an array or some kind of dictionary, any kind of variable which can store your color name. So by that way your color would be random or dynamic. Got it?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Or another way is you just ask the user what color you like and just write the name over here. Now we have
Yeah.
given some name and another name we need to do if the color, like if we don't have that not eligible person, so a red color should be there. So again I need to drag this over here and let's copy the data from this one only. Range would be same, and here system dot drawing dot color dot red. That's it. So another process is done. We have colored this. Okay, just assume. We will see it in working. Now it says get me the data for a particular surname or basically last name. Okay, I had changed this. Yeah, last name. So before going to the fourth step, let's test it if it's even working or not. Then we will go with that. Okay, so we are done with this. I'm just closing this. Now let's test if it works. Cross fingers. It has opened the Excel, filled, and is coloring. And the work is done. Let's see how much time this took for us. 10 seconds. Cool. That's fast. Now again, let's complete with the last one. It says to get me the data for some particular last name. Like let's go over here. Now from this I only want with some specific name, like for example, like I will ask for all the people with Agarwal age. Okay, and let's wait 1 minute. It didn't fill any value in this row. Why? That we need to also check. So for this the logic was to fill autofill range with formula total rows dot to string. How many rows are there? Maybe it's giving 11 value. So what I can do, I will go over here and plus 1. Now it will give 12 values. And now time to get the value. So I will use a sequence. Let's call it visualize data. Now there are kind of two ways or maybe multiple ways are there. I will show you two ways to get the data with specific surname. Okay, so like let's get an assign activity. Over here, what can I write? Table name dot select. Now over here I can write some kind of expression to filter. It's just like SQL. Anyone have any idea what is SQL? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Structured
Yes,
query language.
SQL is a database management system language.
Hmm. So any example, like how will you fetch a data with age greater than 5 and any name? Just a simple query, that is. Like if I want to write an SQL query which can give me all the data with this specification 20 and less than 40.
Sir, first we have to select the table
Hmm?
Select star from table name and then condition would
from
be
Right,
greater than 20 and less than 40.
great. So in place of eligible, if we whatever the column name is, that will come greater than 20 and then end condition. Simple. Okay, so we are going to do something like that using select only. Like we using select, you can give a kind of SQL expression to get your value. What we need all the rows with surname as Agarwal. Okay, so what can I write over here? Name, or what is the column name? Let me check. Let's open it again. Here we have got column name as name. So select name like percentage means any character Agarwal. I guess this should work. So if I just open it, advanced editor, so I'm saying from DT1 select all the rows which from name column, where in name column it's like percentage Agarwal is written. Okay, and since I want this data in a data table, so over here I will write just copy to data table and click on OK. Now let's create another variable. I will call it dt2, and again go to variables panel and change the data type. Now first I want to see if this is even working or not properly. So what I can do to get this value in a message box, I will write output data table. In input, I can give my dd2, and in output, it will convert this data table type to string. So let's call it output dd. Now I can just go and write message box, and over here it will be output dd. Let's see what it gives me. And cool, let's just debug. Again, it will do the operations on Excel first, though they are already done. Oh, some error is there. Missing operand before mod. Let's see what I'm missing. Select name, like percentage Agarwal. Okay, so over here, I guess Agarwal is not a data type, it's a kind of string. So need to give it in another single quotes. Again, let's try. Oh, this time it worked. This, it gave me the column names and the values. All are like with surname Agarwal. Okay, so this was one way we can filter the data. This is for like people who love to code mostly, like me. And if you don't really love to code, UiPath give everything for them. So like I want to filter the data, right? So I will just go write filter in the over here, and then I can get this filter table activity. Let's place it over here. Click on this filter wizard. So it's asking me for some input table. Let's call it dd1. Output table is our dd2. Now I want to remove the rows. Which one? Like from column 0, which does not contain Agarwal. That's it. Now for a moment, what we can do, we will disable this. Like press, or wait, just disable this one. I just press Ctrl D and it was commented. Now what we are doing, the rest of the process is same, converting the data table to string, presenting string, but this time we are using filter data table to visualize. Let's run it again. It did the operations, again the same output. Cool. So these were the two ways by which we can filter our data. And we are done with the 4 tasks, but we have got one more thing at the end. Let's say what we can do next. We have made our bot. This is how in industry or profession also does. Like we have got some test data and we build something, but this is just a test data. We need to now, let's say, run it for multiple sheets. Okay, so thanks to Piyush, also we have got that training, like testing data. Suppose this was the training data for us. Now we can test the bot, and what we will add, this data, instead of visualizing, instead of giving in a message box, we will save it in different sheet. So let's delete this, and I will just write write range. Write range is an activity using which you can write your data table inside an Excel. So let's select this one. Since we are working with Excel only, I will call it sheet 2, and over here it will come dt2. Okay, so now our bot is ready. What we need first, wait, let me close this one. Now over here, like see, we have got multiple files for us. Okay, it has similar kind of data, like same different names, age, birth year, eligible, same thing. And let's see, next file also similar things. Let's see how our bot reacts to this page, different sheets. Okay, everything is same, right? Yeah. So now what we can do, we want to iterate on each activity again. This is a kind of iteration, and when iteration comes we need a loop. So first we need to create something which can hold all these files addresses, because what we will need, like till now this was a static path, something we choose from our selection browse. Now we want this also dynamic. We want to the bot should open the files itself. So for that we have got, like we will use assign activity and create an array for us which can store multiple different paths. Okay, since we have got 10 minutes left, so we will hurry now. Okay, so just see, focus over here, like there is a system variable directory dot get files. Now over here I can give the path of this directory and it will give me an array which contains the path to each file. Let's call it file path. It will give error right now as usual because we need a one-dimensional string array. So let's go over here and convert it. Array of string. Okay, that's it, done. Now we need to loop over it. So again a for each. We will be using this for each loop and just drag all these activities. Drag this inside the body and over here file path. One more thing we need to change is the type argument to string. Type argument means the data type of this item keyword, or I can just change this to like anything file. Now file means every element of this string array file path. So like each file path is can be replaced with just a file keyword. I guess that's it, we are done. So now for each file it should calculate these things and give us the data in a different sheet. So let's see, as long as I believe all the sheet names are sheet 1 only, it should work. Okay, for first it is doing our work. Closing. Okay, the values does not fall within the expected range. Some error came. Sheet 2 A1. Let's see. There is a sheet. What is the issue? Add headers. Sheet 2. Let me check again. It's all correct. Now what it is doing? Okay, we have got a bug in our code. Anyone have any idea what is the bug? Guys, fast, we have got 6 minutes to solve the bug. Anyone, any idea? I guess everyone is clueless. Hmm?
No idea.
So the problem is that right now the counter value is 1. It's starting from 1 and for each value it's just iterating plus 1 plus 1. But what should be done, like for every file, its value should always start with 1. That's why, like after the first file, it gave, like it started from over here, different data, like from 13 it worked. Now let's just delete this. Oh wow, so much data at bottom. Delete. And this one had some issue. I will delete this sheet, and this looks proper. Okay, again let's test our bot. I guess it should work this time, as long as any bugs are not there. Okay, so it is not writing some values because like it depends if we have got an Agarwal person in that sheet or not. If there is no data, then it will just write the headers. That's it. That's the reason why in the second sheet we were not able to see any values. This time bot ran successfully. Wow. So like this was the input data. Let's check each and every sheet. In this sheet it didn't give any value. Why? There is no Agarwal in this data. But we got their birth years and if they are eligible or not. Okay, now let's see the next data. Randomly I will just choose fourth one. Over here we have got Aditi. Her age is here, but for some reason birth year and this is not given. Why? Where is Aditi? Okay, these things you guys need to check why this is happening. Okay, this is just another bug you need to solve. Another sheet, again no birth year or eligible data is here, but it's given over here. So what could be the reason that this is happening?
All of them are with surname Agarwal.
Yeah, so their complete data should come, right? Personally in my data all the rows came for me. Like you see, this is sheet 2. Oh, in my also. Yep. Why all the rows are not coming? So if I go to filter wizard, I'm removing all the rows that does not contain the value from dt1 and to saving to dt2. Okay, where is dt2? Let's see. Here only we are getting it, converting it to eligible and de-eligible. Okay, we are done. This thing you guys can find out that why bug is there. We will just run it last time, and you can just unmute yourself and ask if you have any queries before time runs out, and do join again. We will have our Q&A session. Like if any one of you have any kind of problem, we can solve that together. And I will just give it a new run also. Before over here, let's get output data table activity. By practicing such things only you would be able to find that these activities are also made by someone. So there are chances there could be a bug somewhere you can find, just like people has find bugs in different like big companies like Facebook, Google, Ola. So our bot is working just fine, but it is giving values only a few, like some value it is giving, some value it is not giving. This is a kind of bug within filter data table. Now this time it gave us the value. This time no values. Okay, seems like it's working. Okay, like this is the end of the session, guys. Do join again so we can have a discussion on this, and that's it. I guess our complete